have a really powerful message for every empath out there. So if you feel like you're an oversensitive person, OSP, somebody who is like highly sensitive, who always tends to the needs of others, who is um who is habitually trying to please everybody and to meet their expectations to feel good about themselves. If you're somebody like that, then I have a really powerful message for you in this quick video. I want you to know deep down from within my heart, you are just enough. You are just enough. You're enough for everybody. Because I know how hard it is to like feel like you cannot help everybody, you cannot save everybody, you cannot meet the expectations of your family, of your friends, of your colleagues, of your boss at work. You cannot try to meet the expectations of everybody in your life. And I know how hard you try, because through being a highly sensitive person, somebody who just cares for others, somebody who wants their well-being, sometimes maybe you started abandoning yourself and feeling suffocated by the expectations of everybody around you. And I know, because I've been in this place a while ago in my life. I was always trying to meet the expectations of my friends around me, like of all the social circles around me. And it was such a hard role to play, because I needed to be a different person in every different company I entered, because everybody had different expectations of me. And it felt like I was always carrying this luggage on the back of my back, which was just heavy, which was just weighing me down. And I always wanted to be exactly the person other people wanted me to be, so that they feel safe and secure, so that um they feel okay, like I am not being too much, I'm not being not enough, I'm just being exactly who they need me to be for them. And so it was this heavy burden I was always carrying with me. And this idea was always running itself in my mind, that maybe I'm not enough. Maybe I'm not enough. I am not enough for this person. And I need them to validate me and accept me. I need them to show them that I am enough. And that's why I was always pleasing everybody's expectations. I was pleasing people so that I could feel safe around them. And then eventually on my journey, I realized, well, I cannot help everybody. No matter how hard I try, no matter how perfect I try to be, no matter how much I am trying to tend to the needs of like my family, friends, the people I was working with. I was doing sales at some point in my life. I was trying to help the clients who were working with. I was trying to be there for my colleagues that I was working with. And I was trying to help everybody. And it was just such a heavy burden. And then eventually I realized, no matter how much I'm doing for others, or how much I'm trying to do for others, and some people accept it, some people don't, some people just, I was never enough for them, and they never like accepted me fully. Eventually on my journey, I realized it wasn't in my control that everybody feels good around me. And I know that all of us, like all empaths, have this need, right? We have it, that everybody in our presence feels good. And that's why sometimes we tend to compromise our own needs and values and visions and goals in life for others to make them feel good. And when they're not feeling good, well, sometimes we feel guilty, right? Because we didn't do something right. And it's like this idea, this belief, this limiting assumption that I am not enough perpetuates itself. But eventually, you will realize inevitably on your path that you are just enough. You cannot do anything. It's not in your power to change others. Other people, like your family, your loved ones, your mother, your father, your sister, your life, your spouse, they already have a conception of themselves. They have a self-image. They have a self-concept. They already know who they are. And if you try to change them when they don't want to be changed, when they're not looking to be saved, they're not looking to grow, I know you want to help them, but when you want to help somebody who is not looking to help themselves, what you're doing ultimately is creating a codependent relationship. You are saying to yourself, I will only feel good with myself when this person feels good in my presence, right? And so you try everything in your power to make them feel good, but sometimes they're just not willing to accept your support. And you can empathize, right? You can always be sensitive, you can be open for them, but not everybody accepts it. Not everybody accepts your support. And if they don't, I know this is a hard pill to swallow, my friend, but if the other person doesn't accept your support, it doesn't accept the gift that you're offering to them, well, this unaccepted gift goes back to you. So it's like when you're trying to help everybody who is not looking to be helped, right? So you're trying to be there for them, you're trying to explain how they can live their life better, how they don't have to experience this conflict that was perpetuating in their life for years, and you always share with them what they can do differently to not experience that ever again, and they're just not listening. All this weight that they're carrying on their shoulders, on their back, since they're not accepting your support. Now, what you're trying to help them with becomes your weight, right? So it's like you're starting to carry the weight of somebody else because they don't want to stop carrying the weight they're carrying. And this is how you perpetuate this cycle again, this cycle in which you are never enough. And again, I know how hard this is to admit, but inevitably you will realize in your life, you will accept this idea, as hard as it is, that it's not necessary for you to be enough for everybody because you're already enough. You're just enough for yourself. And just enough means that for some people you will be too much. They won't accept you. They won't validate you. They won't see you for who you are. They just won't accept your gifts. And you are not responsible for their healing. You're not responsible for bringing well-being to their lives. If they don't want it, you don't have to do it. You can forgive yourself that you've tried so hard and it didn't work out. And that's okay. And when you forgive yourself, you know that you're just enough, because in your efforts to help them, you failed maybe, or you succeeded for a while, but they went back to their previous destructive behaviors and habits and decisions they make in their life. And it's like, this is not your burden to carry. This is not your burden to carry, because at some point it starts feeling too heavy. And when it starts feeling too heavy, you understand that I am here to be myself. I am here to offer my gifts to those who want them, who need them, who would appreciate them. I am not here to be responsible for the well-being of others. For some people, I'll just be too much. And that's okay. And if I'm too much for somebody, then it's perfectly fine, because I understand that this person is actually the person to whom I'm being too much, and they're not willing to accept me, to validate me, to see me for who I am, for who I see myself as. Well, they're just making me a gift. They're letting me know that maybe I am not as useful in their life as I want to be. And so if that's the case, maybe they're offering me the gift of self-empowerment, of being self-sufficient. They're showing me that they don't need my help. So maybe I can go back to myself, understanding that I'm just enough. Inevitably, at some point in your life, you realize this, my friend. So if you've been on the journey of self-healing, taking responsibility for your emotional wounds, for your wounds of betrayal, abandonment, rejection, and you've tried to help the people in your life who are not willing to accept your gifts, my message for you is that you are just enough. If somebody doesn't accept your gifts and they perceive you as being too much or not enough, you haven't tried enough, right? You haven't done enough. You're just not enough for not being able to help them. If this is the case, well, this is not your burden to carry, my friend. Because for us empaths, it's tremendously powerful to set some boundaries. Unless we set boundaries, it's so hard for us to feel centered and to really be of benefit to others in this world and help others, like productively, efficiently. So if you've been extending your energy to others who are not respecting your gifts, who are not accepting them, and you've become self-critical about that, you've started condemning yourself that maybe you are not enough to help them, and that something was wrong with you, that you were just not perfect, you were just incomplete. That's not the case. It's not the case. You're perfectly enough, just enough. And it's not your responsibility to worry for people who haven't chosen themselves. You deserve better. You choose yourself. When somebody doesn't accept your gifts, they're giving them back to you. They're reminding you that sometimes, yes, it's okay to choose yourself and to accept the idea that you will let some people down, inevitably. Because everybody chooses their perception. You just cannot ensure the fact that everybody will see you as this lovely, kind, generous, kind, big-hearted being that you see yourself as. Some people just won't, and that's okay. It's perfectly fine. So this was the message I wanted to send. I feel really connected to the Empath Collective, so I'll be creating so much more content specifically for empaths, specifically for people just like you and me. So if you found that this touched you somehow, and I trust it did, like this video, comment down below, let me know what is your experience as an empath, what are some of the biggest roadblocks you face in your relationships, and I would love to produce content on that, helping you to let go, to become more centered, like more stable within yourself, and extend your empathy and compassion for people who are actually looking for that. Not for people with whom you just develop codependent relationships, because obviously you understand this is neither in your benefit nor in the benefit of others. Because by trying to help somebody who is not looking to help themselves, you are stealing their opportunity for self-empowerment. This is what you're doing, and it's not working. And more crucially, more importantly, you are abandoning your own opportunity of self-empowerment, of self-respect, validating your gifts, validating your empathetic, kind, big heart that can be extended to people who are looking for exactly your gifts. So developing boundaries is such a crucial step. And if you need help with that, you can always check out in the description below. I have this asset. It's a 3-question healthy boundaries framework. It's a process you can try, a really powerful process with just 3 simple questions that if you answer genuinely, you have the groundwork, the stable ground on which you can then step. And from that stable ground, you can learn to express your feelings transparently with others so that you don't end up in codependent, toxic, destructive relationship dynamics any longer. And if you're also new to the channel, I would highly suggest you check out, I have this free introductory training. It's the 3 phases you need to master to surround yourself with only conscious, uplifting, and meaningful relationships. So if this is something that you crave in your life, definitely check out the training. It's free. You can register to it through the link in the description. And I'm sure you'll find it so valuable because it's created specifically for empaths. So definitely give it a try. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe to it because I would love to see you around, and I think you'll find this channel really valuable. That being the case, thank you so much for staying with me. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye for now. Enjoy your day.